We are the Four Nobodies Talking Sports. Mike will be with us in about 20 minutes. He's running a little bit late. So how's everybody doing? Brian, how you doing tonight?
Not too bad. We don't have a whole lot of snow, but I mean, it was actually pretty nice today.
Yeah, you got kind of excited weekend, huh? You just had to wait. You had to wait down to the wire.
Yeah, I was watching. So I was watching that most of the day, and we were tied pretty much 50-50 all day. And I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be a little too close." And then, like towards the end, I'm like, "Son of a bitch!"
Dude, me too. That's how I thought. What'd you?
Well,
think?
you would have had a great shot at it if Houston would have rolled over.
Mm-hmm.
But Houston kept competing. So here, let's get the ball to Derrick Henry again. Let's get the ball to Derrick Henry again.
Yeah.
I mean, but I just want to say I hit 200 points and I didn't have a tight end.
Yeah. That's some crazy numbers, too. You went out with a bang, Bob. You went out you did go out with a bang.
I scored more points on Sunday than Phil did in both of his games.
In both of his games, I saw that. I was like, fuck. But you were excited. You were excited, Brian. I know you were hoping.
Oh, I mean, I was excited for you, Brian.
Yeah, I was too. I would have been happy and proud to ship that ring to North Dakota if you would have won. It would have sucked because we had a ceremony. But
yeah, Brian, what you should have done is the morning of, you should have called and said, "Hey, Bob, trade me Kirk Cousins for Aaron Rodgers."
Okay, so here's the thing. That thought actually crossed my mind like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know if Bob will actually be willing to do that or not. I'm like, but he might. I don't know.
Oh no, I would have done it because Kirk Cousins was my backup.
Yeah.
I didn't have Mahomes because he didn't play. And see, that's why you really don't want to have to compete in week 17 because a lot of guys sit down and you don't know who's going to play.
right.
Yeah, luckily that wasn't my situation. All mine competed. I knew Favre was going to compete because they still won that first round bye.
Was there?
So they wanted to win.
I didn't check the list, but would there have been someone in your bench that would have made the difference, or was it not? It wasn't. No, there wasn't. Right? Because I thought I looked at that, but I wasn't sure if it was a bench issue.
He would have got close, but he wouldn't have won.
If I would have put one player in and swapped out another one, which that was a toss-up the day or two before about doing that, and that would have got me even closer. But he still would have won by like 6, I think, or so.
Yeah.
No, 10, I think it was. But it was either between CD Brown, CD Lamb, or Antonio Brown, and I'm like, well, Brown's actually picking up passes, and he's actually doing better.
You didn't play Brown.
No, I didn't. I played CD. I played Lamb instead. Because I was thinking that they were gonna score more on the Giants, and I didn't think that Brown was actually gonna put up that many points. He ended up putting almost 30 points up. So
there's a report that came out after the game that Tom Brady threw to Antonio Brown a lot because Antonio Brown had to have X amount of catches and X amount of yards to get a $500,000 bonus. So Tom Brady kept throwing the ball to him to make sure he got that bonus.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. I was watching some of that because Jefferson was chasing for a title, and Metcalf was chasing for something too. So I'm like, well, if they're chasing for something, they're going to try to get the ball more, which means in theory they should get more.
Yeah, I mean, but if you look at the past 2 years, Metcalf and Seattle, they do not do well in the pass game against the Rams.
Yep.
The Rams shut them down.
Yep.
And then this week they played the Niners, and I don't know what happened there, man. Maybe they put their best defender on Metcalf, but I mean the Seahawks didn't look that great against the Niners, really.
No, but the last time Metcalf played the 49ers, he scored like 40 points.
Well, that 49er defense is still put together. I mean, they're still together. Most of the guys that started their season, they're all back. So that defense was tough in the beginning, period.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, they got a good defense. What I noticed is just teams that just running up the score. This weekend was just like, let's just run up the score. The Bills.
Right.
Score. Bills just ran ran on the score. I mean, even the backup scored a touchdown. Didn't he throw a touchdown? I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I mean, you get a chance to play. But seriously, once they were up, like midway through the third quarter, I would have pulled. I would have pulled Josh Allen just in case. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
And then Kansas City didn't play any of their first string guys, so
yeah,
the Chargers feel good because they won, but they were playing a bunch of backups.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How'd you feel about your outcome, Bob? For the overall,
I'm still a little butthurt because I lost 2 games by less than a point combined less than a point, and that would have put me in a better playoff thing. But it is what it is, man. It is when you lose by 0.06 and you lose by like 0.62. You're like, what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. That's the way life goes.
Yeah. I mean,
but it was fun.
It was fun. We'll get it set up next year and have it better. We'll have the rules figured out next year, and we'll have it proper.
Yeah, but I would definitely not play Week 17 because Week 17 is just chaos.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of like, well, fuck, you really, really got to pay attention to what's going on in Week 17, and like this Week 17, you would think the teams that clinched would have kind of held back, and teams like Buffalo didn't, Green Bay didn't. Who else didn't?
Well, Green Bay had to win in order to get home field advantage because of the Saints. If Green Bay would have lost and the Saints would have won, the Saints would have home field.
Yeah.
And that's why Green Bay played, But, yeah, Buffalo really didn't have anything to play for except for pride. But Buffalo, and I give them credit, man, Buffalo sent their best team out there because Miami was trying to make a playoff push. And if Miami won, they would have had a shot at the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, you're not going to roll over for a team just so they can make it and you can face them later in the playoffs. Screw them.
Eliminate them funkers.
Yeah, it's just like the Rams, I watched the Rams game. I was kind of upset in the first half. But once Wolford started clicking with the pass, and then, he can run better than Goff. I mean, I felt really good because, man, the Rams defense was phenomenal.
Yep. Their defense stepped up. Yeah, he actually, what did he put up? 69 yards, I think?
Yeah, but they were playing, after Kyler Murray got hurt, they were playing with a backup quarterback.
Yeah. No, I mean as a runner, he put up some yards.
Yeah, he did. He had 59 yards and he threw for 200 and something yards. So
yeah. Were you worried though that first pass? Did that scare you?
Yeah.
It did. I was like, oh shit, here we go. Here we go, dude.
Oh yeah, and then but once the defense started clicking, it was and no offense, but if I am Roger Goodell, DeAndre Hopkins would not play the first 2 games next year.
Yeah.
For what he did.
I'm with you.
Did you see that, Brian?
I missed that one because I didn't have that game up here.
Okay, so what happened was it was early in the fourth quarter. There was a long bomb to DeAndre Hopkins. He was double covered. He grabbed the safety and basically threw him out of his way so he could try to catch a touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the referees called offensive pass interference. Well, DeAndre Hopkins started berating the referee and flipped him off.
Yeah, flipped him.
And that put an extra 15 yards on that penalty.
Yep.
So Arizona started with like 1st and 35.
Oh wow!
But I would have tossed him for that.
I would have tossed him just to make sure that doesn't occur in thing, because I mean, the only other guy on the field that you have to respect is, the guy that you have to respect the most on the field is the referee, especially if you want to play.
Now, granted, in the fourth quarter when Kyler Murray came back in, there could have been a pass interference call against the Rams in the end zone, but I think that the back judge didn't call it because it was DeAndre Hopkins, and he was still carrying a little resentment for getting flipped off.
Yeah. All right. We are going to jump into our NFL over and under picks for week 16 and 17. And that is Brian's segment of the show. And here we go, Brian.
Nuclear reaction with a flux capacitor. Carry the two, changing its atomic isotoner into a radioactive spider. Fuck you, science.
Fuck you, science. All right, Brian, what do we got? How were we for week 16 and 17?
16 wasn't it seemed pretty even and straight across the board between everybody except for between everybody except for Nick. Nick was the one that he picked the opposite of everything they should have picked up.
Nick.
Except for he picked the right teams to win, but he picked
the under.
Yeah.
He was wrong on the over and under.
Yeah, so Nick broke even. I mean, he broke even.
Even.
So, but otherwise, everyone else was pretty much opposite. I mean, Mike picked the Cardinals to win, which they didn't, and then he also picked under, which he didn't. He picked the Raiders to win, and they didn't, and he picked over, which he didn't. John picked the Rams to win, which they didn't, and the Colts to win when they didn't. But he was right under.
I won the Rams Seahawks. Oh no, John won the Rams Seahawks.
Yeah, I won the Rams Seahawks game.
Yep. Then I picked the Vikings Saints, which I knew the Vikings weren't going to win, but I was really hopeful. But I mean, that was a score fest, though. That was Christmas for those who didn't know.
Yeah.
I was running over. I figured it was going to be a score fest, but wrong team.
Oh, I was horrible, dude. I was.
Yeah.
The only thing I hit was the under on Panthers Washington.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think we all had our thinking hats on wrong. So, which is okay. I mean, Nick didn't do too bad.
Who's buying drinks?
So how did we do week 17?
Week 17, I got the info and I started plugging on in everything. The Giants actually won, and you picked under.
I broke even.
Under. And then I didn't pick any because it was a little too late for that, which is fine, not a big deal. John picked Washington to win, which they did. Eagles to win, sorry, and Washington did. He picked over and lost in that one. And then Mike picked the Vikings to win, which they did. And
but they didn't cover because the Vikings had to win by 7.
Yeah, they had to win 7.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Nick didn't pick, which is fine.
Yeah, he didn't pick that week.
Mm-hmm.
So who's buying drinks on week 17? Would be Bob.
Hey, you know, we'll have 1 beer and 4 straws.
And 1 straw and 4 straws.
Well, there's only 3 games this weekend, right?
It's COVID.
No, there's 6 games this weekend.
6? Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
3 on Saturday, 3 on.
The Rams play 1:00 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing those picks towards the end of the show. We'll be doing our NFL playoff picks.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. Are the over and unders up for those already, Bob? I didn't check. They are. Okay, good, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that, and then we can start one for the playoff stuff.
Yeah,
and see how everything sits.
All right.
So that's not too bad. Pretty good. Here's the thing that's going to be fun to do. So,
and this is going to be our winner for the 2020 NFL season game picks. These are we picked our games. Anyone watching, we picked our games at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do them week by week like most people do. So we couldn't predict who was going to get removed due to COVID. We didn't have injuries or anything like that. So we just went by what happened the prior year. So we made our picks. So we're going to see how well we did during the year, picking before any game was ever played. So I think we did really well.
Yeah. For those who don't know, what I did is I went through every single team, and we went through every single team, and we found our matchups, and we picked out our winners for those games. So throughout this whole season, I've been keeping track of everything, and that's kind of where I came up with this part at.
Okay.
So basically, this is going to be week 16, which isn't too bad. Bob got 10 out of 16 right. So did John. I got 11 out of 16. Mike got 12 out of 16. So, that's, 75%, and 62%, 68%. So, I mean, it's really not that bad. And our averages are kind of reflecting, which is the below part down here. So I did that for 16 and 17 already. And most of them haven't been too bad. It was 17 really messed with me though. But Bob did pretty decent.
Man. Oh
man, Bob.
No, because I think Mike's going to pass me up overall.
Well, maybe
For the final.
Maybe because on this one he got 75% correct again. So on the final, you're at 63.39%, and Mike's at 63.76%.
Right, Mike won.
So predicting all those games at that point, Mike's sitting at winning on that one.
Yeah.
But when I went through all of our games, and I was kind of showing you on the 49ers ones here. What I did is I went and figured out what ones we actually got right, which in theory that should be really similar. And so that total comes to 64% on your end and 63% on Mike's end.
Nice.
And then Andre got 69% of them right.
Yeah,
but he only had 2 games there, 2 games here, 2 games there.
Right.
So
I will take that one right there as a win.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, it could just be the way the percentages worked out, but I think in theory, it's actually, I mean, it depends on what stat we want to go by, but I actually think it's actually really close to a tie, to be honest.
Oh, sure. But, again, that's not bad for doing everything at the start of the season. And like we said, there was, we didn't know who was going to get hurt, who was going to be out of COVID and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So 64%, you're making money still.
Right?
You're making, you're better than most of the guys that are picking every week. So,
well, that's the other thing too, is that if we take 2 teams and we just pick one at random, you're always, in theory, you're going to be 50% right. So, I mean, we're over 50%. No matter what. Every single one of us are over 50%, except for Frank.
Yeah, well, Frank, he didn't.
But, I mean, he's right by 50% too. So, I mean, that being said, when I listen to sportcasters or prediction people, I kind of take it with a grain of salt because they might know a little more information that's going to give them an edge, but it's not going to be huge.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, those guys that are picking like Vegas, they've got inside guys. They know who's sick, who's hurt, who hasn't played well in practice. I mean, they take all that stuff into consideration. We picked at the beginning of the year, no idea on who was going to be, who was going to end up with COVID. We didn't know who was going to get hurt.
Right.
We didn't know who was going to piss off the coach and be benched. We had no idea of any of that stuff. And for us to be, Bob in the high 60s, Mike in the high 60s, and me, you and I just, mid 50s, that's pretty goddamn good. I consider it. I consider it good. So who gets the trophy?
Well, that's the thing. So I found out that was really close to a tie. So what it is, I went through this now instead. So basically, this is the 2020 record of all the teams. Here's the 2019 record of all the teams. This is our prediction record for their actual win-loss. Okay, so Bob picked the Seahawks to be 12-4, and they were 12-4. So he was green. Okay, so I went through all those. The yellow ones, they are off within 1 game, swing up or down. Okay. So 8-8, the 9-7, and 7-9 will fit that category.
Bob's on fire.
So I went through all those, and if you actually look at it and go all the way down, we were 18%, about 20% of picking the actual right win-loss percentage. That's pretty interesting. John got that. You were at 21%. Then Mike was at 6%.
So you guys made fun of me.
Well, say hi. Say hi to everybody.
Hey, kitty cat. What is the cat's name? Is it a Rams player's name? Is it Bill Lambier, or is it?
Oh, I mean the cat's name?
Yeah.
Cat's name is Boots.
Oh, I
He's got 4 white feet.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back. She wants out. I'll be right back.
Let that cat out. So Bob there.
So Bob actually picked the actual record right 21% of the time.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's pretty interesting. All the rest of us were about 10%, up to 20%.
Not me though. I'm special.
Up to 20%. That includes you.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty interesting to me. Anyways, I mean, how you look at it. I mean, if we actually sat and picked their actual win-loss percentage for every team, we'll be right 1 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought that was really, really, really neat and really cool. So I mean, so yeah, that was really fun and interesting. I mean, there were a few surprises in here. Like take
Dallas. I think there was a couple teams that kind of threw us off because a lot of us had picked Dallas to win. What was Dallas's? Most of our predictions on the Cowboys, for instance, and the Eagles. I think a lot of us. I mean, look at me. I picked the Eagles at 14-2.
Yep.
Bob had them at 9-7. Yeah, Brian, you had them at 15-1. You were smoking something that night. And Mike had them at 11-5. So I mean that's a perfect example. And the Cowboys turned it up towards the end here and won games. But I mean, what did we have? They were 6-10. I had them at 9-7. Bob had them at 8-8. You had them at 7-9, and Mike had them at 9-7. So I mean, as far as we were all pretty close, but I mean, I thought for sure that we picked the Saints to win. I mean, the Cowboys to win more games. I think we were off pretty big with the Eagles. I think the Eagles hurt a lot of us.
Eagles is one of them. The other one was the Texans.
The Texans too. Yeah, the Texans.
Yeah, they tanked.
Yep.
Yeah.
They went from 10-6 to 4-2.
Yeah. And the Patriots, I think we were all pretty close with it. Bob was on the money with the Patriots.
Yep.
That 7.
So was Mike.
Fucking Brian, 2-14.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, they weren't cheating anymore, so I expect them to lose more.
Go back up to the Eagles. Show Bob your Eagles picks.
Look, I was 15-1.
15-1.
Oh yeah.
I had a lot of faith in them until the internal drama happened, and then that kind of did that. So,
and we were a little.
I was right on too for the Lions. I was right on too. 5-11.
Yeah. The Falcons was the other team that I think surprised a lot of us. I think the Falcons.
Yeah.
4-12, and what did I have them at? I had them at 9-7. Bob had them at 7-9.
Brian and Mike were pretty close to 5-11.
Yeah, they were. Who was the other team I think that surprised us? I think the Browns, right?
Browns.
I think we were kind of all. I think we were all off with the Browns.
Yeah, they were 6-10 last year, and they were 11-5 this year.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty off.
I was only 2 games off. I was 9-7.
In both of us, yeah, we were 13-3. Oh, that's the Chiefs. We were on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you.
I was right on with the Steelers, man.
Yeah, you were.
No, you got lucky towards the end of the season. There is what happened.
13 and the Bills. I think I had the Bills. I had the Bills 9-7. Bob had them 10-6. You had them at 14-2. Yeah. How were the Jets? 2-14. I had the Jets at 6-10. Bob got
it right on.
He did. Bob's like, fuck the Jets.
I was right on with the Patriots and the Jets.
Right.
Look like Miami though. Miami was the surprise team.
Yeah, Miami was the surprise team too. So they were.
That sucks though. You are 10-6 and don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's crazy. That shows you how good that division is, though.
And then you look at Washington; they're 7-9 and they win the division.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the South was 11-5, both teams there. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good division there. AFC North was.
Oh, go to the Bucks score. Where were we with the Bucks? I think I was the closest with the Bucks, I think, wasn't I?
No, I was right on. I was 11-5.
Oh, you were right on. Son of a bitch, Bob.
Did I miss him? There it is. Yeah.
Yeah, 11-5. Bob nails it. I had him 10 and
Panthers were. Yeah, they weren't too good.
Well, we all kind of got pretty close to that. I had him at 3-13. Bob had him at 3-13, 6-10, and 6-10. I think the big ones was the Eagles. I think Cowboys was another one that surprised us. Well, how did we do on the Raiders? Oh yeah, there it is, the Raiders. So if I had them,
I had them 5-11.
Brian had them 7-9, and
that was pretty close.
9-7, Mike. Yeah,
I think. But you know what? The Raiders, man, they got a lot of good talent for next year, man.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a good
Darren Waller is going to be like the new Travis Kelce, man. Darren Waller is a stud.
Yeah. And it's going to be nice to actually see fans in that stadium, dude. I want to go to that stadium. Just seeing the videos, the video of the stadium and the games, and that just looks like a stadium I'd like to be in. You guys noticed the different camera angles this Sunday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did it not look like a video game to you, Brian?
A little bit, yeah. I was kind of surprised.
It almost looked unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looked unreal. I was just, at moments, I thought I was watching a Madden, like they were playing a screenshot of a Madden video game.
Was it just a different type of camera then, or what was it?
I think it was just that on-field camera. They're still using the same cameras, but I think it was the fact that they have less people in the way. Those camera guys can get up on the field more, and I think I love it. I hope they keep it for next year, because those images were just, I mean, it felt like the guy was literally standing 2 feet away from him, right next to him with that camera. And it looked great. It looked amazing. And I hope they keep that. I mean, it took my eyes and my brain like 30 seconds to realize I'm not watching a video game,
right?
The actual game. It was that clear and that unreal. And I hope they keep that for next year. I don't know if it's going to be something they can possibly keep. Oh, baby.
Nick, by the way, it's just the 3 dudes. The one champ isn't here yet.
Yeah, he'll be.
He's taking a sweet time right now today. So,
yeah, he'll be here. Nick is gloating. He's excited. He's the fantasy football champ. He's being a diva. He wants to make a grand entrance. So, he wants me to play a Mariah Carey song when he comes in.
We could just make it Justin Bieber for him if you want to.
Yeah, he is celebrating. He's celebrating. He already has the ring, so we're gonna have to redo the. Hopefully, here in a couple of weeks, we'll do a live celebration of the Tree of the Ring. I guess I don't know what you want to call it.
Also, Nick, just so you know, next year, once we get everything going, you're more than welcome to join us on the fantasy stuff.
Yeah. Next year,
absolutely.
Next year you can be on there.
He's like the big chain.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's at the jewelry store right now. He's at the Von Jewelers trying to go, hey, look, this is the ring I got. Can I get a chain to hold this thing up on my neck, man?
He's going to go and get a grill that says champ on it.
He's going to get his grill.
Have you guys ever seen a Super Bowl ring?
Yeah, I've seen one.
I haven't, no.
I've seen one.
I mean, live in person? I mean,
yeah, and live in person. Okay. Yeah, I've seen.
I met Cliff Davis. He got his in '76 when the Raiders beat Minnesota, and I saw him in a bar. I saw him at the Black Angus.
Yeah,
and he showed me a Super Bowl ring. He took it off, man. And at that time, they weren't as gaudy as they are now.
Yeah, I've seen that, and I've seen
but those Super Bowl rings are crazy huge.
Yeah, an NCAA championship ring too.
I've seen one of those too. Baseball. Yeah. Football. Yeah, I used to have a customer in Los Banos when Chico State won. They sent his kid got one for playing Chico State. They did the design wrong, so they let them keep the flawed rings and redid the rings.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like that. fucking honking one that Shaq wears all the time. He's always wearing that big clustered diamond fuck ring that he wears all the time. Oh man, I remember there was an episode of one of the talk shows where he was the host. He was filling in for, I think he was filling in for not Fallon, but the other guy. Oh God, what is his name? Well, he was filling in for one of those talk show guys, and he had what's her name, Clumas from the '70s show, the young one. What's her name? That's married to
Mila Kunis.
Yeah, and she just like staring at this damn ring, like, what the hell is that? Because it's my championship ring.
You know, her ancestors are from Russia. She speaks fluent Russian.
Yeah, she speaks fluent Russian. Yeah, it was funny for her to say, she goes, why are you wearing that? He goes, if I owned that, it'd be in a safety deposit box. Serious. That ring does belong in the friggin' safety deposit box. Yeah, their rings now, they're just, I mean, it really comes down to the owner, right? On that ring.
Yes.
How much he wants to pay to, if he wants it, crazy. Hey, Brian, Google one of those. See what the average cost for a Super Bowl ring is. How much you think it is? About $100,000? What do you think it is, Bob?
Now, probably between 80 and 100, probably. Google the Kansas City Chiefs 2019 Super Bowl rings.
So most Super Bowl rings are valued between 30 to 50K, but if the ring was issued to a superstar, the value rises significantly.
Yeah.
Right.
So the ring itself can be between 30 and 50K, but per player, we'll just say like,
if
like Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice, exactly.
So it's just gonna be just skyrocket.
Yeah. If you got Jerry Rice Super Bowl ring, it's gonna be worth more than 30, 40K.
Right. Absolutely.
So you think that's, it would just seem like it's like the one Shaq wears, that can't be a $30,000 ring unless he had it custom done after the fact, because there's some major diamonds on that damn ring, man.
A buddy of mine, on the 20th anniversary of him and his wife's marriage, bought her a $17,000 diamond ring.
Woo!
Wow.
She will not wear it in public because she goes, so all someone has to do is just come by and chop my finger off, take my ring. I'm not wearing it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I remember, what's that joke? There's you never mind, because you don't watch The Office. And he goes, she sees the ring and she asks Michael Scott. She goes, oh my God. He goes, yeah, I followed the rule. 3 years of salaries, right? And they're like, no, it's 3 months salaries, not 3 years salaries.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, right. 3 years salary, right? No, Michael, that's 3 months salary. Yeah. Nick, lots of bling. Yeah, they all. I mean, some of those rings are insane. Since Mike is not here yet, so we can't jump into our fantasy football championship presentation with Mike, we're going to jump into our new segment with our legend down there, the Larry Bird GOAT guy. And we're going to find out what bothers Bob. So we're going to play Bobby's bumper.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth.
I'm going, the truth. Okay, and everyone's going to hate this.
Bill.
I'm going Larry Bird only because
I knew he was going to say Larry Bird. I knew it.
Michael Jordan never beat Larry Bird.
Take LeBron to the hole. I'm 6'4". I'm 230. I could take LeBron to the hole.
The only way you're taking LeBron James to the hole is if you know where the catfish are biting and you got the bait, all right? Second base is easier, though.
I love these two.
Second base is easier. I play both positions. Second base is easier.
I could play first base.
Off the back to the side of the bag.
Don
First
play
base, you
first
handle
base.
the ball more than anybody else.
Bob, you could play first base.
Every ground ball in the infield goes to first base.
Yeah.
And you want your shittiest athlete at first base? I want to play you guys because I want to run all day long and kick your ass.
What do you know?
Bob can play first base.
Okay, so it's been an interesting week in sports this week, and a lot of it has to do with Twitter and coaches polls. So Dabo Sweeney, when he did his year-end coaches poll, he put Ohio State at 11. Now, his reasoning was he wasn't going to rank anybody who hadn't played more than 9 games in the top 10, which he made a good, valid point. He said, I'm not going to rank anybody who hasn't played 9 games in the top 10. So Dabo Sweeney ranked Ohio State number 11. Ohio State, he said, Ohio State's a very good team. They could beat us. So it's nothing bad against Ohio State. It's just a matter of principle on how many games they played. Well, we all saw the game. Ohio State cleans Clemson's clock. And as soon as that's over, Twitter was on fire. LeBron chimed in, jumped on Dabo for ranking, Ohio State 11. But Dabo Sweeney just caught a whole lot of crap for nothing. Because if you read his comment, he never said Ohio State sucked. He said Ohio State could probably beat us. He ranked them because they hadn't played 9 games like everybody else did. But just to see LeBron and all those other guys on Twitter go after him like that, it shows you where social media is right now. It's you do something, you get judged by everything you do. I mean, I saw nothing wrong with Dabo Sweeney saying that. I really didn't, because that's how he feels. And yeah, they got their clocks cleaned, and now everyone thinks that Justin Fields is better than Trevor Lawrence. They're high, but that's what they think. And someone's going to take Justin Fields in the NFL draft just because of that game, and they're going to make a big mistake. Which leads me on to my second point. Booger McFarland came out last week after the Redskins cut Dwayne Haskins. And Booger McFarland made a comment and said, the NFL is made up of 70% African-American players. And he said a lot of young players now coming into the league don't get their work done, don't practice, but they come in trying to build their brand, and they worry more about Twitter and social media than they do working and playing the game. And he talked about DeAndre Baker. He talked about Dwayne Haskins. He talked about Jamarcus Russell. All these guys were more interested in how's my Twitter looking and all this other stuff, instead of actually working out and performing on the field. Booger McFarland is black. Okay? So as soon as Booger McFarland made that statement, again, Twitter was on fire with all the young athletes out there calling Booger McFarland a coon, porch monkey, an Uncle Tom. Someone even said he's building his resume so he can leave ESPN and go work for Fox Sports. And it's just social media sometimes, if you look at it, is the wrong type of tool to express your feelings, because you miss the content of what the guy was saying and you go straight to reaction. And the problem with social media with athletes and stuff is nobody listens anymore to everyone listens to react. Yeah. Nobody listens to understand. Okay, as soon as you post something out there you don't like, you constantly react. But you don't step back and go, hey, you know what? This guy might have a valid point. Okay? Do I think Booger McFarland's a sellout? And do I think Booger McFarland is a coon and a porch monkey and all that? No. I think the man made a comment about the state of pro athletes and social media, and he's getting his ass kicked for it for no apparent reason, because nobody's reading to understand they are reading to react.
Yeah.
Because you're a lot braver now behind a keyboard. Go ahead, John.
With that situation, it's a little, with social media, you talk about Twitter and you talk about social media, but everyone already seen the clip. So a lot of times, the reaction, like you were talking about, reacting to react, a lot of time it's just a Twitter statement. And I think a lot of times with the Twitter statements, you don't, that's better, Bob. Yeah. Mm-hmm. With the Twitter statements, you really don't get the guy's, his, what's the word, the proper word? Like when someone writes something out and you're reading it on social media, you don't see his, I'm trying to figure the right word out, but his demeanor or what his attention.
You don't know, you're not, the context isn't completely.
But when you have the clip and the social media, I'm sure he tweeted as well. Am I right?
Well, on the case of McFarland, he said this live on ESPN.
Right.
And there was another ex-NFL player who was black who totally agreed with what Booger McFarland was saying.
Yeah.
But all the young athletes blasted him on Twitter but they didn't. To me, it's just like they didn't comprehend what he was saying. To them, they took it as an insult.
Right.
But if
the point is go ahead, Bob.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the point is that the thing is that people don't want to admit is it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, yellow, green, purple, orange. It does not matter what color you are. If you publicly call out or just speak the truth about what any black person is doing, whether they're doing a good job or a bad job, it doesn't matter. If you just call them out and say anything like, oh, he wasn't doing his job. Everybody knows he wasn't doing his job. Everybody knows he was a slacker. Haskins was a slacker. That's why he got let go. If he was doing his job, he wouldn't have been let go. It's not like people are in the business. Okay, let's not act like this is the 1920s or something. Guys are not in the business of letting players who perform just firing them. That doesn't happen.
Well,
it's because he called them out.
Yeah.
And that's why. And it just shows how far we've come. Is it doesn't even matter if you're a white guy, of course you're going to get called, a racist. But now if you're a black guy, they're just quick enough. They'll call you an Uncle Tom and everything else because they don't care. If you say anything derogatory about a black person, even if it's the truth, in public, you're going to get labeled. Well, and that's just where we're at.
Well, these guys, I don't get it. I mean, to me, we're in a generation where there's literally everyone on Earth. Well, let's just say everyone in the U.S. is carrying a fucking cell phone. Mm-hmm. No matter what party you're at or what event you're at, someone has a cell phone. I mean, those pictures of him partying, he's looking right at the camera. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like, dude, I mean, you know what you're supposed to do. You got to, literally as an athlete, you are playing the game that you played as a child. You have the privilege of doing something that, God damn, I don't even want to imagine how many kids want to be in that kid's situation. And you got this opportunity. You're told, go fucking home. Don't go to parties, don't go to clubs, don't go to strip thing. Go home, dude. How many of us wouldn't want that paycheck? Mm-hmm. I mean, exactly.
Well, there's a few different things to unpack here a little bit. Like one, it's what Bob was saying. It's speaking the truth and then getting backlash for it. Yeah. Now, the other thing is when it hits social media, when you use social media and you message somebody or you say something on social media, you don't know how they're saying it. It could be a joke or it could be dead serious. Yeah. You just don't know. Like I can say, I can type, I hate Bob. And then I can say, oh God, I hate Bob as a joke. Yeah. Or like, no, I really hate Bob. Like I really despise the guy. Like you don't know the context that we're saying. So then that itself will actually fuel another fire. Yeah. And when that happens, things will get blown up, completely ridiculously. Even, using color, using ethnicity to fire back at somebody when it shouldn't even be the case.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I there are sometimes with us, Brian, with the vape thing, there's tweets I'm reading them, and I literally can't tell if this dude is being serious.
Yeah.
It's just like, ooh, and you have to write, and Bob's right, because then I would write, "What do you mean?" And then I get blasted for writing that. Like, I'm wrong for writing. You should know what he's talking. I'm like, I have no clue what you are talking about. I don't know if you're being serious or you're not being serious. But yeah, I mean, social media, Twitter especially, because a lot of these guys love Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is pretty much become the norm for a lot of athletes. I mean, they post their social media stuff. They're partying
and I think that's where Booger McFarland was going. Is a lot of these guys, when they come into the league, they're more worried about their Instagram accounts or their Twitter accounts than they are putting in the work to make themselves better.
Yeah.
And that's all Booger McFarland was getting at.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I watched that clip and, listening to him talk and then I've seen some reaction videos to it. And, I can't remember the other guy that did the reaction video, but he had a great point because then he started calling out white athletes that are doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, but see, the whole thing was I think during Booger McFarland's rant about that, he made a point. He said, yes, white people do it too, but the league is made up of 70% African Americans. Yeah, I mean, because white people, we can go down the list. Johnny Manziel's at the top of that list.
Leaf.
Johnny Manziel, Ryan Leaf, Brian Bosworth was more worried about his movie career than he was playing football. Tony Mandrich just sucked and he didn't care, even though he was the number one pick. I mean, you can go down the line of all the white athletes that have done it, but the problem is it's more of the African Americans now because the league is 70% black.
Yeah, it's a smaller percent.
Johnny Manziel, name somebody in the last 10 years.
Yeah, no, Yeah. I mean, it's tough because especially now with this generation that's coming up into the NFL or even any of the generation that's coming up into professional sports, they are so embedded with social media. I mean, they understand that, hey, if I want to get the advertisement dollars, and maybe they're doing it maybe they're looking at, okay, my possibility of my career in the NFL maybe 5-6 years. How do I brand myself to make sure that after 5 years, I can continue to make money? Money keeps coming in. And I think a lot of these kids that are coming up into the professional level are saying, I got to brand myself. I got to, I got to have the Twitter account. I got to have the Instagram account. I have to have my own personal Facebook page. And what I have noticed within the last couple years, because I'm really focused into these podcasts and stuff like that, is what I've noticed is a lot of athletes starting their own YouTube channel and actually filming their day-to-day lives. And it's just more than I've ever imagined. I mean, can you imagine Larry Bird videotaping himself all day?
He wouldn't.
And posting it on Instagram.
Well, here's the thing with that too. There's actually some sports, wrestling in particular, that actually bans athletes, their entertainers, I should say, from having their own Twitch, their own YouTubes to make side money for that.
Right.
And because I think it's because of the label. They're called a sports entertainer. They're actually there to entertain, and they're also entertaining via off their books, which means they shouldn't be getting paid for that, which kind of does make sense. But on the other hand, like all these athletes who do have these social media accounts, YouTube, Twitches, and all that stuff, like they're actually making money doing that too.
Yeah, they are.
And they don't have to actually lift a finger to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, because they're getting a lot of advertising, especially on Instagram and stuff like that. Because Twitter, not so much, because you can't really promote a product on Twitter as your, on your account. But with Instagram, carrying a bottle of Sky Vodka around, or taking a picture with some Budweiser, and it's so much easier for them on Instagram. But Yeah, it's tough because this generation is about videotaping themselves, is about photographing themselves, showing this amazing lifestyle that they have, and you know, that number of subscribers that has become such a big part of it.
A big part of the problem is so a lot of these especially star athletes, I mean, when they're young, if their talent is, you know, if you can see their talent when they're even before college, they're treated like gods.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they get to college, they're treated like gods. And now not only is it just in that sense, you know what I mean? Like, as a college player, like, what's the kid's name that just came out? The big guy that just went to last year. Basketball player that went to New Orleans.
Zion Williamson.
Williamson. So 15 years ago, outside, the same thing, if he would have been the star, the number one pick coming out, but him walking down the street, how many people in a random town, how many people you think would know who that kid was? Not that many.
Maybe 10 to 15% max.
In his own hometown, everybody would know.
No. I'm talking about outside that.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Nobody. Today, though, everybody would know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, is now these guys aren't just, it's not just that they're made gods in their own town and where they go to school. Now they're made gods all over the place. And they got it in their hand. They say, "Ooh, look at all these people following me. Look at all these people liking my stuff." It goes past athletes, but with athletes, it's just worse because they get it in their day-to-day, and now they get it all the time on their phone from random people.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And then when you treat them like a normal human being, when they get in trouble for doing something because they're not a god, then they don't like it. You know, and these kids aren't taught. Like what's his name? Who was it? It wasn't Dak, it was Zeke. It was Ezekiel Elliott was at that concert or whatever he was at and got in a physical altercation, like walked up and shoved somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all his fault.
Yeah.
He could have walked away. And it was actually a security guard. And I think he didn't like that. The guy was just trying to do his job.
Yeah.
Right. And he didn't like it. And he shoved him. And it was like, dude, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
Like, I get you're a normal person, you want to have fun, but don't be dude, even me, I'm a nobody. And I am careful about how much I drink at places like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm careful to get in confrontation because I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I have a life. And it's like people like him, they just think like, oh, I can just do whatever I want. And you can act a fool. And imagine if those roles were reversed. Imagine if that was a white star player and, you know, a George Kittle, and he shoved a security guard, but the security guard happened to be black.
Right.
Imagine how different that story would have went.
He'd be racist.
Yeah. See,
you know what, though? I mean,
go ahead, Bob.
Here's the thing
they
about
have to be better. Huh?
Here's the thing about progress and the lack of social media. All that stuff happened in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, but because there was no in the 80s, but because there's no social media and you can't get it to it, and you can't get to it instantaneously, and a lot of teams covered that up. Nobody knew.
Yep. Yeah.
Or I mean, Mickey Mantle was the biggest alcoholic in the whole world.
Yeah.
But nobody's gonna like film Mickey Mantle in a bar drinking. No.
They were,
or people knew it was months later, 6 months later.
It takes a while to get to the paper. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the other problems is with these kids, and is like Mike was saying, you know, through their Pee Wee League, through junior high and high school, they were treated as gods. You know, you're amazing. Unless that guy, when he gets to the pro level, unless that guy is just hands above whoever he's taken a position of, he's now having to start over. And I can see where social media can make him still feel like that superstar. I think maybe that has a lot to do with it. What's drawing them to social media, because it's like, okay, you know, I was number one in Pee Wee. I was number one in high school. I was number one in college. And now I'm number 3. And this is a good way for me to keep feeling like I'm important. You know what I mean? I got, you know, hey, look at me. I got 3.5 million subscribers. You know, and doing the nonsense and stupid things to get, you know, to get 10,000 likes, 20,000 likes.
Well, there was an interesting thing today I was reading on Marvin Bagley III. 3 years ago when he played at Duke, he was awesome, okay? So the Kings drafted him, and his first year he got injured. Last year he was injured. This year he's healthy, but he's not playing well. He had a good game. So his dad gets mad and puts on Twitter, the Kings need to trade my son.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
So DeAndre Fox, who's the point guard for the Kings, put on Twitter, yeah, we do.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
That's because DeAndre Fox wants to win basketball games.
Yeah,
I'm sure Marvin Bagley wants to win, but Marvin Bagley wants to be the star so he could probably, so he can be the next LeBron James.
Well, is that him or is that just his dad?
Well, his dad said that. His dad's
because I would never blame Lonzo for what LeVar Ball says.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Oh no,
I wouldn't either.
You know what I mean? Because Lonzo is a smart player. I mean, he's not the number one that he came out to be, but he's still a good player and he's smart. He knows his basketball and seems like a well-rounded kid. Seems like a respectful person. Mm-hmm. You don't ever hear about him getting in trouble. But his dad, now his dad's quiet, but his dad liked to pop off at the mouth before. And
his little brother got in trouble.
His
little brother got in trouble.
Well, yeah, that he did. But the thing is, like, as much as like I'm no LeBron cheering fan, but if you want to talk, the one thing I will give him is if you want to talk and look at somebody for these kids to look up to. And to be like, this is how you do it when you get into the league. This is how you act. Mm-hmm. This is how you conduct yourself. LeBron James is, at least for the African-American athletes, he is the best to look at. Like and I wish that people like him and people like Steph Curry and Damian Lillard and that, I wish they would maybe set up like some kind of program or something or set up some camp or something. For these young kids coming in and be like, look, guys, like you got it. Like we came from the same place as you guys did. And now you got fame, you got money. But if you want to make it last, if you want to be successful, this is how you do it. This is how you act. Get them hooked up with the right accountants, the right managers. Mm-hmm. Like that's what I think would be cool if these guys did, just to help these young guys not just fall to the wayside because they want to act a fool or they want to spend all their money or
the league does that, right? I think all the professional leagues have people that they talk to when they come into the league. This is to advise them.
Yeah, they do, but apparently it's not always 100% working, you know what I mean?
I would put Tim Duncan in there as well as a player that I think should be a role model for a lot of black athletes in basketball. I mean, there's a guy that didn't get in trouble, stayed married to the same woman, didn't go to strip clubs. I'm not saying be a dull, no personality person, but, treat that position as a player, as a job, like Bob would. Bob's not going to go out and drink till 4:30 in the morning and then go to work at 5:30. He's not going to do that. Mm-hmm. An athlete shouldn't be doing the same thing.
The good thing is, though, is it's not like, I feel like it's not a huge, like there's probably so many guys that have like an ego problem, but there's not that many guys that are completely throwing away their talent or completely, just being a criminal and stuff. There's not like a ton of that. Most of the guys, I mean, they probably don't manage their money the best, but most of them, are, you don't hear about players getting in trouble that often.
Yeah.
Well,
for as many as there is.
Go ahead, Bob.
So with LeBron, with Jordan, with all your top superstars, they all had handlers. Yeah. And their handlers told them, you cannot do this because of your stature in the league. Right. But if you get some guy who's sitting bench and he's second team and he's, he's still supporting his boys from the hood. Yeah, because he doesn't want to get rid of his boys because that's his posse. Yeah, they're going to get in trouble. They're going to go to a strip club. They're going to do all this stuff. There was a backup center for the Clippers years ago who got filmed coming out of a strip club, got into a fight with a guy on the street. Now, this dude is 7 foot tall, black kid. Got his ass whooped. but he had his posse around him. He felt tough. He got his ass whooped. But the problem is again, now everything goes straight to TMZ or goes on social media, which are out doing. That's why Dwayne Haskins got in trouble. He was in a strip club.
Yeah.
Okay, it's COVID lockdown. You can't go. Don't
go.
But he would rather be with his boys than following team rules. And I'm glad that he got cut, because that should be a sign of the times for every league. Because I know football, they have a 2-week rookie seminar, and they go over how to manage your money, what kind of friends you should bring along, how to do this, how to invest, and how to do this. The NFL has a 2-week seminar for all rookies that they must attend.
Yeah.
And they go over all that stuff.
Yeah.
But still, I mean,
you think if like Brian was talking about WWE and stuff, you think that should be implemented in those contracts? Hey, no social media contracts? Or
no, they wouldn't be able to do that.
Well, because
it's different.
Technically, Brian, like Brian's saying, well, I know in wrestling they pretty much don't own anything. The player, the person, because their persona is owned by the WWE, their name is owned by the WWE. I guess it would be hard.
Some do own their own.
If they wanted to do their own thing with their own, like with their real name or something, maybe it'd be different. Like, but they couldn't.
They do use their own real names and all that stuff.
They do on Twitter,
yeah. They don't. A lot of them have. You seldomly see anything game or team related on their pages. So it's like, hey, I'm out at Home Depot. I'm buying some whatever. It's just, well, I would be shocked to see an athlete at Home Depot, but, it's usually something stupid that they're doing. But, I mean, it would make sense for the teams to say, hey, listen, whether or not you're at home or you're out and about walking around, you represent the Cleveland Browns. So if you're out doing something stupid, it looks bad on the Cleveland.
Yeah,
Browns.
it's not a big enough of a widespread problem for them to even come close to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess it just comes down to common fucking sense. Use common fucking sense.
Well, I mean,
and that's the other thing too. You don't just pad the rooms. Like, you have to let them make mistakes. Let people make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's life. You make a mistake, you got to live with the consequences. I don't believe in just putting bubble wrap around everything.
Yeah.
So people don't make mistakes. Like, no. Like, you make a mistake.
They're men.
Yeah.
You have to treat them like men.
Well, what happened was Justin Fields originally went to the University of Georgia. Justin Fields had a shot at starting, but he didn't pay attention to the playbook. He showed up late to practice. Jake Fromm beat him out. Justin Fields had the talent, but Justin Fields wasn't going to play because he didn't put in the work. So he transferred to Ohio State. Part of the deal of him going to the Ohio State was Ryan, the coach of the team, Ryan Day, told him, the only way you're going to play is you got to memorize the playbook, and you will be the leader because you're the quarterback. You will show up on time. You'll be early. You will stay late and set a good example. And Justin Fields did. I mean, he's looking great. But when he was at Georgia the first year, he showed up thinking he was going to rule it because he was the number one quarterback in the nation. It was his job. No, you got to put in the work, and that's all that Booger McFarland was trying to say.
Yeah, exactly, Bob. You're right.
Put in the work.
Put in the work. Forget about branding yourself.
Right.
If you're good enough and great enough of a player, the endorsements will come. They'll come. You don't have to go out there and brand yourself, especially if you're a number one pick, you're number one out of college, you come into the league. Yeah, a lot of these guys, you're right. I mean, especially the QBs, they're not going to touch the ball for 2 years. So I could see how that, like we were saying, it could be frustrating for that guy because, yes, he's been number one. His ass has been kicked since 8th grade, all the way through high school, all the way through college, and now, you're just a name on a team, and you're no longer, the king of football in the king of football of North Carolina, all pro this and all, and now you're having to maybe kind of try to rebrand yourself as somebody important. I guess. I mean, I don't know how what's going through these guys' mind, but that kid, it just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking right at the fucking camera. He knows someone's taking his picture. Now, would that piss me off if that's one of my homeboys? Fuck yeah. If that's one of my homeboys that took that picture and then posted it and had the league find out about it and the team find out about it and I lose my job, I'm one pissed off motherfucker, man.
Well, and if I'm homeboy, I'm apologizing because I just lost my job on that dude's payroll.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as far as that Ohio State thing, I think it's crazy that all those people, especially people like LeBron or anybody else, would come out and try to give that guy crap for that. Like, what now that you know what I mean? Because what would they have said anything if Clemson would have won?
No,
they wouldn't have said anything. And how many games was it that Ohio State played?
Six.
It was 6 compared to everybody else played 9, right?
Yeah,
everyone else. Some teams played 9. Some teams played 9. Some teams played 10.
You see it,
but
right?
like
so, and then you're gonna try to, like, I mean, that's just common sense. I'm not gonna rank a team that played 3 or 4 less games the same as a team, you know what I mean, that played more. Like, it's just you're not gonna. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they wouldn't like that in their sport if that happened to them.
Exactly.
So,
by the way,
what would LeBron say if the Warriors got to sit out for 30 games?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They wouldn't like that. They wouldn't think that was fair.
So LeBron plays 80 games, but the Warriors, because of COVID, play 49 games. But the Warriors are coming to the playoffs and they're kicking ass because they played less games and less.
They're more rested. They got more time to rest. They were able to win more time to prepare, all that stuff. Nobody would like that. So it's crazy to me that they would, you know what I mean? It's just, that's the problem is social media has given people an avenue that people that don't know what they're talking about and aren't qualified.
Keyboard warriors. They're keyboard.
Well, yeah. Well, look, like I said, nobody reads to understand. They all read to react now on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Why don't you just, when I worked at MTC, when social media first became hot, we had a couple salespeople make fun of a couple store displays that look crappy, and they're on social media. Well, one of the store owners saw that, so he switched companies because he was pissed that his salesman was calling him out. Yeah. So the owner goes, "Okay, guys, look, I can't control what you do on social media, okay? But before you post anything, sit back for 20 minutes and think about it before you hit the send button."
Yeah.
Well, you can definitely control what they post about work.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but still, a lot of times we're pissed, and we're gonna be emotional, and we're gonna write that stuff out right now.
Yeah.
But if you step back 20 minutes, give it a thought, you will not have to backtrack a lot of things you said because you were emotional. Yeah. Because you didn't post it.
Well, there's like I remember when Katrina started working at the school. That was the first thing they told her: be extremely careful what you post on your social media, because use that against you in your job. You could lose your job as a teacher if you're posting inappropriate stuff with students, or being around students. So yeah, it's a thin straw there. So Bob, what was your last topic? There was on the bowl games.
Oh, you know what? That went longer than I projected. So we can move on.
All the time you want. You're the fucking GOAT. You're the GOAT.
No, you know what though? But seriously, no. That was a pretty good conversation because, we all have thoughts on it, and then basically, you just got to let that stuff out, talk about it, so people understand. But yes, we can move on to the next subject.
College bowl games. That was your last one, or
no? We'll skip it, John.
Oh, you're done? Okay, yeah. Let's give Mike his fucking moment in the sun here. The 2020 NFL Fantasy Football Champion, Mike. Show us the ring.
That's my dog. That is my dog.
I asked Brandon, did he want to come on tonight? And he said, what? So I can listen to Mike gloat?
Hey, like I told you guys in the last games, I'm just waiting until the playoffs.
Yeah.
Waiting for the playoffs to get here, and then I turn on the heat.
Okay, though, Mike, be honest, okay? Be extremely honest here. Were you worried at any time that you thought you might lose? Be honest.
Was I worried Like you mean on Sunday?
After last week's totals, were you worried at all?
I mean, no, I don't think I wouldn't say I was worried because we were pretty neck and neck. Brian was only ahead of me by 6 points.
Yeah.
And 6 points is easy to cover. I mean, I would say I was probably a little bit more worried at the early part. But no, I wasn't. I mean, my guys were, I was pretty confident in my matchups, and I would say my team on paper is probably better than Brian's.
Okay, so I'm just going to do this, dude. You need to cut the Houston Texans a check because they played hard and they kept scoring. Because if they wouldn't have played hard and Tennessee had a 2-touchdown lead, they'd have benched everybody. But they played until the end, and that's why they kept feeding Derrick Henry and AJ Brown.
Oh. It was funny because I DM'd Mike and I go, fuck, because this was early. I go, man, it's going to be fucking close. And Mike texts me back, close ? Like, are you an idiot, dude?
Well, I knew, I knew what I had left. And, I mean, but Bob, the same thing could happen. You could say about the Vikings and the Lions. I mean, it was a completely trash game. And Brian ended up, I mean, dude, his running back ended up getting 30 points from that. And his wide receiver got 22 because they were just throwing up.
And I had Kirk Cousins and he got 30.
Yeah.
They were just throwing up numbers.
Yeah.
But
the funny part was I didn't have Mahomes, I didn't have Tyreek Hill, I didn't have Cooper Kupp, and the tight end for Pittsburgh didn't play. I used my backups. I scored with 8 guys. I scored 200 points exactly.
Well, it's the same thing. I mean, you had Godwin playing against Atlanta.
The ring, Mike. The ring. Where's the ring?
I don't have it with me. All right. I mean, it's out in my truck. It's out in my truck. I don't want to go get it.
Look at the motherfucker driving around with it. We said that you went.
I went to Brandon's and Bobby handed it to me 2 weeks ago because he was like, well, we're not going to win this, so here you go, take it.
We said that you went to the jewelers to get a chain for it.
So yeah, but I mean, there were some things that went. I mean, dude, Hopkins only scored me 7.5, so that really chapped me because what's his name went out.
Kyler Murray got hurt.
Yeah, Murray got hurt for a good portion of the game. But you want to know what's even funnier? Is my other league. I was the same thing. I was going for first place, and because it's the same. It's the ESPN, the same as ours, and it was for $500 because it was $50 buy-in, 10 people. And the first place gets all the money.
Oh, wow,
I beat the guy last night at the very end of the game. I beat him to win the $500 by 0.8 points.
Oh, damn.
Oh, shit.
0.8 because they sat Jalen Hurts, who I put as quarterback because I didn't think Josh Allen was going to play. And he had the running back for Washington, Gibson. So the last drive that Washington had, Gibson started. He only had like 30 yards, and I was only ahead by like 7 points, 8 points. So Gibson started chipping away. He got 40 yards, and he only needed like another 10 yards to beat me. And they, instead of going for it on 4th down, they decided to punt. And that's what made it to where Gibson didn't get any more points, and then the game ended.
John, you're from Philly.
Yeah, brother.
Why did he pull Jalen Hurts?
I don't know. I was tripping out when that happened.
He's the future. They didn't want to get him hurt. Yeah, they knew they were going to lose.
But if they win the game, the Giants go to the playoffs. So they basically screwed the Giants.
Yeah, but they don't care about that.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
Also, Wentz looking for his release too.
Yeah.
Nate Sudfeld went to high school at Modesto Christian.
No way, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I thought it was crazy that they put him in.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, what the hell are they doing?
Yeah, I know. But I just figured Hurst is he's their future guy, and I think they realized, look, we probably aren't going to win this game, and even if we do, who cares? Yeah, we don't want our guy getting hurt.
Yeah, they've got Carson Wentz either going to the Colts next year or going to the 49ers.
Yeah,
I still say the Vikings should pick him up.
Yeah, well,
then he'd be closer to home.
Let's also congratulate Brian. I mean, his first time.
Yeah, Brian came in strong at the end.
First time doing it himself. He took it all the way down to the end.
Brian came in strong at the end. That's for sure. He did. He wasn't looking good at the beginning.
I started out crappy. I was like, there's no way I'm going to do any good with this. So I'm like, if you look at who I drafted, who I have now, I think I have like 3 or 4 people that are the same. I got rid of everybody else.
Old Town in the house. You want to congratulate our winner?
Oh, there you go, Nick. Yeah, Nick, what's up?
What's going on, Nick?
Hey, congratulations, big guy.
Yeah,
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You got fucking lucky, Nick.
Lucky.
Hey,
please.
I heard he played a Buccaneer.
I sure did. Tom Brady all year long, except for the game that he sat out. Except for his bye.
Damn.
I played him all year long. He scored me 30-something points this week against Atlanta. So
yeah, who'd have thought, huh?
Hey, I picked up Wilson on Christmas Day for the Niners.
Damn.
Yeah, Jeff Wilson. Yeah.
I picked him up. I saw him. I couldn't believe nobody else was. I couldn't believe that he was still there available.
You knew something was going on, huh?
I was like, dude, if I can get, because I have Derrick Henry and Josh Allen. I was like, if I get myself a third starting running back, this could be really good for me. And
did you?
He got me.
Stack?
Yeah.
Huh?
He had a good team.
Did you just stack all year, or did you just draft him?
No, I picked up Henry on the way. My first pick of the draft was Henry, and I think my second pick was Jacobs.
Okay.
And then I picked up Waller on the draft in the draft. Hopkins in the draft, Brady in the draft. AJ Brown I picked up in the draft. I drafted my team, a lot of my starters, I drafted them.
Yep. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs.
That's the thing
awesome.
Is like I don't watch football. Like I've never been like the guy that like watches all the games and stuff like that. Like, but I always do pretty well on my drafts for the most part. But I'm good at the waivers too. Like I know who to. I pick up guys. I have Schuster and Claypool. I picked up both those guys up off the waiver. No, Schuster I got in the draft, but Claypool I picked up off the waivers. Curtis Samuels I picked up off the waivers.
This was a crazy year. This was a crazy year, you have to admit.
Well, here's
how the hell you put a team together is incredible. Yeah. I mean,
here's a stat. Here's a stat. Hold on, Mike. Team Mike Hawk made 33 moves during the season. Brian, who took second place, made 56 moves. Quick Gold made 56 moves. The dude Jesse made 38 moves. Brandon made 50 moves. Karen made 14 moves. Bob, you only had 14 moves. Bob, you had 16 moves.
He's loyal.
Yeah, my cousin
loyal leader.
36 moves. 26. I had 31, and my son had 14. So yeah, I mean, Brandon, you and Bobby had the most moves at 56. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the only reason I had to make moves is because players weren't playing.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I had A.J. Brown, one of my top wide receivers, sat out for several, like 4 games or something like that. Henry was out because of COVID. So, but in the last 4 games, all the playoff games, the closest person to me with all those 4 games put together was Bob.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was 37 points ahead of Bob in all those 4 games.
Yep.
I scored an average, if you break them all, if you add them all and break them up, I scored an average of 155 points per game.
Yeah.
In the last 4 games.
Well, Derrick Henry went off, man. That was A.J. Brown. So
But congratulations to you both, Brian. Congratulations, man. I mean, he didn't think he was thinking like I was. Well, I was thinking I was going to win, but you know.
Yeah,
you did talk a lot of trash.
Talk a lot of trash in the beginning.
And then you stopped when you knew you were losing.
Yeah.
I stopped.
This year was work, I'm sure. This year was work.
Well, yeah. Did you see on the show? You could pull that up again, Brian, to see our totals for our picks prior to the season. So Mike can see those real quick. You got those still?
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds
that
here.
was pretty interesting. And these are our picks, Nick, that we did before the season started. So with not knowing injuries, not knowing who was playing, who wasn't playing, who was pissed off the coach and was benched. So, these are our picks. Like 2 weeks, Bob. 2 weeks prior to the season starting. So, and we're pretty damn good. Well, Bob was really good.
Well, I saw these stats before, like a couple of weeks ago
you did?
when I was on. But now, I mean, it's obviously changed a little bit, right? I mean, I remember the stats were like, wow.
Yeah, there's a few things. So I'm going to enlarge this just a tad bit more here. So basically at the very end, Mike was 63%, about 64% on the winning percentage. So every time he picked, he had a 64% chance of picking the winning team. Every one of us was above 55%.
So what's the difference between the win percentage and the total?
Your total is for the entire year. The win percentage is just for week 17.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
so I got 12 out of 16
I was saying
games.
You guys should be on like a sports show.
Dude, I got 12 out of 16 games. Holy crap.
Yeah.
You did.
The very interesting thing is at the very final on all of our picks that we got right, Bob was 64% of picking the right team, and Mike was at 63.87% of picking the right team to win.
That's pretty damn good for us picking 2 weeks prior to the game, not knowing any of the situation, COVID, injuries, none of that stuff. And we were pretty accurate. Go back to show our picks for the team that we did, the winning records, because that was
that's what I'm just going to go to. So
I would think like 30 or 40%. Anything over that is like wow.
Well, so we also picked the actual records too. With all of our picks, I was able to actually.
Where's my name? I'm looking for it. I don't see my name.
So so your name's not going to be on here because you didn't make the picks yet.
You didn't make these picks.
That 1 week I did.
No, okay, so that was the spread.
That was a spread.
How did I do there? Did I do any good?
You didn't do good. You're buying drinks. You're buying drinks.
That was week 17.
Week 16, I think.
16.
Yeah. So you were.
So
you picked the.
I like that, Nick.
Yep. So
Nick covered the Bears and Nick missed the under. So Nick, you broke even there, and then the Bucks, you pushed. So basically, you broke even, Nick.
You broke even.
Okay.
You didn't lose money.
You came home with the same amount you left with.
There you go.
Yeah, show the team things because we were pretty good. There's only a few teams that we made a couple mistakes. I mean, no one knew that the Eagles were going to be shitty. Nobody knew the Cowboys were going to be shitty.
So no one knew that the Dolphins would be good.
Yeah, the Dolphins.
So their actual
exactly like the Dolphins and Dak going out hurt us.
Texans.
Did not expect the Eagles to be that crappy. Didn't expect the Browns to be as good as they are.
Yep. Right. Cleveland was number one. Surprise.
So, Bob, think about it. We could have I bet me and you could have flirted with 75% if we would have picked week to week.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So if we got 67% before the season, we could have definitely flirted with 75.
So, Nick, this right here is we actually picked like their record this year. And out of the 32 games, Bob was 20%. He had a 22% chance of actually picking the right record for the year.
And this is prior to the season starting.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So I found that very interesting, actually.
He crushed it.
And the Niners hurt me big time because I was not expecting the whole damn team to get hurt.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I was not expecting their whole damn team to get hurt in like week 3.
Right.
So
you had them like 14-2.
Okay, but if their whole team would have stayed healthy, they probably would have been at least 12 wins.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, their two star linemen got hurt in the same damn game, and their quarterback.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so like I said, if we would have went to week, but you know how that all works, though, Bob. If we would actually do this next year and bet money on it, we'd be trash.
As me and Bob are Rams fans, we were very happy with the outcome of the 49ers season.
I'm not worried about it. The Rams aren't going to do anything anyways.
I think next year, what we'll do is we'll kind of do the same thing, but then like the week prior, we'll discuss kind of like the games or like the top 5 important games and all that, and try and make our picks too.
No, Brian, we're going to make it really difficult for you. We're going to do both.
Oh, that's
we're going to pick all of them before.
You don't.
And then we're going to pick week to week too.
You don't tell me you're going to make things difficult because I still get it done.
All right.
I know. that was my way of doing that. I was telling you it was going to be difficult, so you can be like, all right, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. I'll still do it. That's all right.
Postseason?
Oh, hey, Mike.
I got you covered, Nick.
This is Brian's new bumper for his segue. You ready for this?
Nuclear reaction with a flux capacitor. Carry the 2, changing its atomic isotoner into a radioactive spider. Fuck you, science.
Fuck you, science.
That's pretty good.
Are we ready for this?
For the NBAs?
We are.
We are ready for this. I'm going to share this screen here real quick.
Yeah. Do the random thing so we can get an order going.
Yeah. So I don't know if Nick heard what we're doing here. We're kind of just picking the main 5 positions of our all-time NBA team. But if somebody's picked, the other people can't pick them.
You want to participate in this, Nick? No. Or you can watch.
No? I thought this would be pretty interesting, actually.
And Bob, Mike, and John. All right, here we go. Hold on here, boys. Let me take this off. Share the screen. Okay, I'm going to click it 1, 2 times. First time, second time, the third time is going to be the order. There's click number. Oh wait, I got to go over here. Click number 1. Click number 2. And this is going to be the order. And it's going to be Bob, myself, Brian, and Mike.
Oh, I like how that worked. For the first 2, I was number 1, and then the last one, I was number 4.
Okay, so just to make this thing fair, we're going to draft like we do in fantasy football.
Okay,
so Mike, you'll be 4, and then the second round you'll be first.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So I was number 1?
Yep, you're number 1.
Okay, so we're going backwards again.
I didn't want to be number 1.
Why? Everyone knows what you're going to pick.
We know who
now that I am number 1. I am taking Michael Jordan.
I knew he was going to do that.
Which position do you want at? Which position
Michael
do you
Jordan?
want at?
Michael Jordan will be my shooting guard.
Okay. Because I'm going to ask that on most of these because sometimes they actually have different positions.
Time out.
Sure.
You took Jordan over Bird as your first?
Yeah, I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah, just shows you how.
Hey, look. If Jordan's out there, you got to take Jordan.
Yeah.
It just shows you how good Jordan is compared to Bird.
Yeah.
No.
Let's not get started. Let's not get started.
Oh,
but the whole thing is if I don't get Larry Bird, okay, if I don't get Bird, I've got 3 guys who are close, but not Larry. But they're 3 guys who are close.
You see how he covered that mic, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right.
Who's up next?
All right.
What's up, Nick?
It's my pick. Oh, go ahead, Nick. We can't hear you. You're muted.
You're on mute, Nick.
Unmute yourself, Nick.
There you go.
We still can't hear him.
Yeah, I still can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Nick.
You're mute. You're muted. Unmute it, or maybe take the headphones off and use the just use the speaker.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
He froze now, I think.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. All right. It's my pick.
It is your pick.
Who do I want as my first pick? Hold on here, guys. I had it listed.
Now, Nick, you're on mute now.
Yeah, you're on mute. All right. Let me go
click the mute button.
All right. Documents.
Try it now.
Soon.
Oh, it went straight to mute again.
Giveaway winners.
There. Oh, can't hear you now. I would try taking off your headphones and using your phone speaker. Because apparently he can hear us, but we can't hear him.
I don't know. I'm thinking here, guys. Give me a second.
Come on, John.
It's important pick.
Dude, you can't take this long. You can't take this long in the first pick.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to take Tim Duncan.
Okay.
All
right.
For center?
Okay. Damn. Brian?
I am going to go with. Let's go with Olajuwon on center.
Damn you!
Damn
it!
Gotta have the big guy. Gotta have the big guys.
Mike?
I'm trying to think of both. Let's see. I'm going to take.
I would pick Bird before Bob gets a chance to pick him.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. Damn. So I'm going to take Larry Bird.
That's a wise move.
Shooting forward or shooting guard? I assume shooting.
No, he's either a small forward or a power forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say small forward.
Okay.
And then, oh man, shoot. I'll take.
Don't fucking Google.
LeBron James at the point.
Point guard?
No, I
Is
said
he a point guard or?
Small forward.
Oh, you already got your small forward.
No, I know. At power forward.
For LeBron?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My pick?
No, Brian, I thought.
That's Brian's pick, yeah.
Yeah, because we're going reverse order.
Yeah, that's right.
In second round.
I'm going with a small forward. We're going Dr. J.
Nice.
And you did put Tim Duncan as my
center. You can't change it now.
No, I said no. I want him as my power forward, not as my center.
Okay.
You said center.
No.
Yeah, you said center.
No, you did say center, but John, we'll let you change it.
Yeah, we'll let you change it, but you did say center.
Oh, come on. I could have had him with this.
I want him as my power forward. I'm sorry. Is it my pick now, bitches?
Yeah. It is your pick.
As my point guard, I want Magic Johnson.
Okay. So to end the second round, my small forward is going to be Dirk Nowitzki.
Ooh.
Oh, freaking ball.
What?
I love
the
Dirk.
The guy was a stud.
I love Dirk.
Yeah, me too. I saw a documentary on him last night. That's why I'm going, I can get Dirk Nowitzki. And I seriously thought I could get Elijah on too, but that was wishful thinking. Okay, so to start the third round, my point guard. You know what? No, let me go power forward first. My power forward is going to be Kevin McHale. I need a rebounder.
All right. My pick. I'm going to go to my list here. And I am going to pick my small forward as Kobe Bryant.
Nice.
He'll be in there here soon.
I got a run and gun team, bitches. I got a run and gun team.
Let's see here. Let's go point guard. I'll go with Allen Iverson.
Nice. Okay, Mike. End of the third round.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Kareem at the center.
Damn it. Okay.
We both said
No, he's taking my backups. The Lifelone's gone. Kareem's gone. Duncan's gone. All right, so starting the fourth round, Mike. Go ahead.
Nick's question. He was asking how we're picking players that are not actively playing. This is going to be more of our all-time picks versus just a current NBA pick. It's who we think would make a great team, but now this whole taking a player out is actually making it more interesting, I should say.
Ooh, you know what? What? Oh man. What positions do I? What do I have so far? What do I have?
You have a point guard left and a shooting guard left.
Oh, you got to fill your backcourt.
It's got Bird, LeBron, and Kareem.
Got it. Come on, Mikey. You're the champ already. You're the champion.
See, I think three of us are thinking like one way, and then Mike's thinking a completely different way.
Yeah.
I am, because I'm regretting one of my picks.
Yeah.
Let me guess, Bird.
No.
Oh.
No. You gotta have Larry Joe.
You never regret Larry Bird is on your team.
That's either Kareem then, because LeBron is.
unless you do have a running team. I don't think Bird can hang in there with a running team.
The Boston Celtics had a great running gun team. Look at the highlights, man. They're always doing fast breaks, man.
Yeah, but Bird's always behind. Setting up
okay, look, I'm going to tell you this one last time, John, okay? To quote Charles Barkley, okay?
All right.
God made Larry Bird slow and didn't give him the ability to jump to make the league even, okay?
Yeah, I give you that.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm going to go with Steph Curry at the point.
Okay. Damn it.
All right. Go ahead.
Brian.
I'm thinking of a couple of different ways I should do this, but
I got a 30-second timer, bitch.
I think what I'll do right now is I'll take Reggie Miller, shooting guard.
Oh, bastard.
All right, that's me, right? I am going to take. Is David Robinson still available as a center?
He's still available.
I will take David Robinson.
Is it my turn?
It is your turn, Bob.
So in round 4, my center is going to be Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be coming up.
And now I'm looking for a point guard to run all this mess.
Correct.
And I am going to take one of the greatest ever, Oscar Robinson.
Oscar Robinson. All right, that's me now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I only need a point guard and
shooting guard.
A shooting guard.
Yep.
Yeah, shooting guard. Yeah, I'm going to go with
He's using Google.
Yeah,
you can't Google it. Off your head, man.
I'm going to go with.
You have your list, don't you?
I have Iverson. I'm going to go with Iverson.
You don't have Iverson. I have Iverson.
Oh, did you take Iverson?
I took Iverson. He's my point guard.
I'm going to take James Harden then.
Oh, great. That's
For
great.
real?
Great pick. Great pick. I love it.
Me too.
I love it. Because your team just lost.
Why?
Oh, I forgot about him. God. Oh, man.
Don't worry, Bob.
Okay.
I had that mistake too.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I did. I picked 4 people for each position just in case like things were taken.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I've been debating about my power forward all night pretty much. And I'm going to help out here. I'm going to go Rodman.
Okay.
I need a decent rebounder out of there.
Yeah.
And somebody who's a little aggressive.
A rebounder.
Now you're making a list so you can pop up our picks when we're done, right?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
And I've also got it set up so we can actually figure out who's going to be who in games too.
Okay.
So Mike's turn left for shooting guard.
Last pick.
Mm-hmm. Should I put the timer on? Come on, boy.
Jerry West.
Yeah, I knew it.
Nice. No. I had Jerry West on a list.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you after who my other pick would have been.
Oh well, we're done.
We're done.
I'm that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it was either him or Drexler.
Yep.
Oh, Clyde, yeah. Clyde wasn't great with a shot though, but Clyde could play defense.
That's why I picked Jerry. That's why I picked.
Yeah,
that's why I
Jerry.
ultimately went with Jerry. Bob, who did you forget about?
Moses Malone playing center.
Yeah,
my guy that I wanted to pick from the beginning that I totally forgot about was Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty.
I thought about him.
And the shooting guard, I was thinking I should have went with Vince Carter.
Yeah.
No, who's your shooting guard?
His Harving.
Yeah. I think I had.
My only problem my problem with James Harden and some of the current players is they don't play defense, and I'm not a big fan of 4 guys on the perimeter and one guy handling the ball and he'll take the shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. You know, at least the guys I got will pass the ball if they're not open.
Yep. Most of our picks, except for Mike's, have been the Twin Tower effect. Had to have the 2 big man down low and then 1 medium guy and then speedsters on the outside pretty much.
Well, I'm surprised that let's pick Shaq.
I got 2 7-footers and a 6'11" guy on my front court.
We know.
But are you not surprised that none of us picked Shaq?
I was going to. He was on the list.
I thought about it,
but I wanted to log on.
Look, I mean, for Shaq's era, he was good. But Olajuwon owned him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that Wilt would have owned him and Bill Russell would have owned him. And there's a lot. I think Moses Malone would have owned Shaq because Shaq really wasn't that great offensively.
Well, he's just too slow.
Yeah. Shaq would just back you up till he got to the rim.
Yeah. And that was the thing is that Shaq depended on his outside and his weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one picked Malone either. I don't think so.
Karl Malone?
Yeah, Moses Malone.
Nope.
No, I was gonna pick Moses. Well, I didn't see. I forgot about Moses till I saw him up there to go, damn.
Yeah.
Nobody took Patrick Ewing either.
No. I wasn't a big fan of his, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I still think for that era, Olajuwon was the best center in that era. I think Robert Parrish was good. But you definitely had to team Robert Parrish with Mikal and Bird at the same time.
Yeah. Did someone take Bill Russell? Did you take Russell? Who took Russell?
No one did.
No. Nobody did.
No.
Well, see, the thing
Bill Russell was a defensive star, and when he played, I mean, there was a lot of guys around him who played offense, but he was a stopper in the middle, which was awesome. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. I just wanted a guy in the middle who could score and rebound. Yeah. And Wilt one year had averaged 50 points and 50 rebounds.
Yeah. Well, Russell he was pretty much, I don't think they count of shot blocks, but he was up there.
He was.
Yeah, he was up there.
Bill Russell was the first guy to bring shot blocking into the game where he would block the shot back and play to one of his guys could get it.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
I actually had a team made up. I had 2 different teams. One is kind of this pick, and the other one was I was looking for a super aggressive, just dirty team. And that one was going to be Isaiah Thomas, Latrell Sprewell, Rasheed Wallace, Charles Barkley, and Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, Laimbeer.
Yeah.
So I was looking at that, and I'm like, I need people who just are going to have to score.
Do you have the teams? Do you have the thing made so we can take a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want Bob's honest opinion.
Well, what we should do is just go to Google and add up the totals, their career totals. That'll give you a general idea what they would score on an average as a team.
Yeah, but career totals could be time frame wise, though. That's the thing is that one person could play like 5 years, more than 50 years.
Yeah, and it's different years too. But some of those guys weren't the leading scorers on their team. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have it down here. So Bob versus John versus Mike versus, if we want to discuss who would pick whose team, if we put John's team and Bob's team, who would actually win?
My team would kill them. They wouldn't even have a chance.
John, your team's losing to.
No way. anybody's team playing this team would have to be on the bench getting oxygen. It couldn't keep up with the gun team. Man,
yeah,
wait. What are we talking about? Where's
I got Magic, Harvin.
Wait, Harvin?
Harden. That's to be Harden.
I was gonna say.
See, John. This is why I'm gonna beat you. Oscar Robinson was 6'3". I put Oscar Robinson on Harden. He's not scoring. I put Jordan on Magic. Okay. Now, when you come down the court to guard me, Harden don't play defense. Who's he going to guard? Because that guy's going to light you up.
But he's going to light whoever's guarding him up.
No, he's not. I'm putting Jordan on Harden, and Harden's not even going to get a shot up.
Wilton McHale will take Duncan Robinson.
You're just going to use the Jordan card.
No, it's just that Harden doesn't know what it's like to have somebody play real defense against him.
Right. If we play 80s rules and 90s rules, if we play 80s and 90s rules, Harden's not going to like it because he's going to get bumped, touched, thrown around, and it's not going to be a foul.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you know what though? If everybody's in their prime, it would be interesting to do a recreation of these guys playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
We could do it on the PlayStation.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
My honest opinion.
All right, we should.
I think Bob's team wins just because Jordan.
No.
Plain and simple.
Well, I'm looking at your insight here. I think McHale and Wilt will take Duncan and Robinson.
Okay. Yeah. Well, listen up, guys. We're going to be running out of time here, so let's save this for next week, and let's jump into our, because we're at an hour and 51 minutes right now. So let's we can discuss this next week.
Yeah.
And then
I'll keep it saved.
Let's jump into the NFL picks, and we're going to go ahead and start with the Colts and Bills. And who's got the over and under and the point spread on that? Somebody can pull it up.
Hold on.
That's going to be an interesting game. You got number 7 playing number 2.
NFL.
So we're just going to do the playoffs together then?
It's -7 Buffalo, and the 52 is the point.
Okay, yeah. How do you guys want to do this? We got 6 games and 4 of us. Who do you guys want to? We'll keep the same draft.
What do you mean? We'll just do one game apiece.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We'll keep the same draft order that we had in the NBA. We'll let Bob go ahead and pick the first. You go ahead, Bob. You could pick. Let's do this here, Bob. You have first pick, and you can pick between those 6 games. So you
all right, let's see here. Let me get my. All right, let's see here. Oh, okay. So, what's the Bucks? What's the Bucks and Washington?
8 and 46.
I'll take the Bucks, and I will take the over.
You want the Bucks and the 8?
Plus 8 or -8?
They're -8.
Well, the Bucks to be favored.
The Bucks are favored. They're -8.
Yeah, the Bucks are -8, and I'll take the over.
Okay.
Ooh-wee.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm next. So I'll take Bears and Saints. What's that?
Saints -10 and 47.5.
I'm going to take the over and the Saints.
Okay.
And you, Brian?
That's a good question. Let's go with Bills Colts. Wait. Yeah, Bills Colts. I think the Bills going to win that.
What's the over and under on that, Mike? Bills Colts game.
Or 52.
And what's the Bills or Colts? What's the
Bills are favored by 7. -7. Bills.
And we'll go under.
All right, Mikey, you're up. Get the either Rams, Seahawks, Titans, Ravens, or Browns, Steelers.
I'm going to take the Rams Seahawks game.
I thought about that too.
What do you got there?
I'm going to take the Seahawks -5, and I'm going to go with over.
What is it?
What's the over?
42.5.
Ooh, okay.
And then go ahead. The last two, go ahead, Brian. And the last two, go ahead, Bob and Mike. Go ahead and take the last two games.
What do I got? Browns and Steelers?
Ravens, Titans, Browns, Steelers.
Yeah. Or there's
which one? Ravens, Titans, Browns, Steelers?
Why? I thought we were just taking one.
No, we might as well finish. There's 2 more games. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? What's the Titans Ravens, Mike?
Ravens -3.5, total 55.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to take the. I'm going to take the Titans, and we're going to go over.
That's what I would have. I would have took the Titans.
Yeah, we're going to go over.
All right, Mike, you get the last game, Browns and Steelers.
Ooh, man. Jeez. That's a hell of a game.
What the over and under is.
Let's see if the Steelers didn't mess up so much, this won't be a much.
I think they didn't care that last game, though, dude.
Oh, I'm not talking about the last game. I'm talking about the ones before that where they lost to dumb teams.
Yeah.
Shoot. I'm going Steelers -4, and I'm going the over.
What's the
46?
Yeah, because Roethlisberger's playing, and the passing offense is getting back on track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me take that off. All right, guys. Any final thoughts? Anybody want to lay out something they missed?
Should be good. I think we did pretty well.
Are you surprised, Bob? Any teams? Well, the Browns. I mean, that's obvious. But other than the Browns and Washington, any other teams on that list that surprised you in the playoffs?
Well, Oklahoma surprised me in the bowl game, but I was shocked that Florida really didn't show up. I mean, but Oklahoma killed them. They were going to kill them anyway.
Yeah.
Oklahoma was just that much better.
Yeah.
And that fight this weekend too.
What fight?
Was it this weekend or last weekend? And when one of the bowl games, there's a big. I sent it to us.
There was a couple fights. There was a couple fights.
Tulsa, the Tulsa game.
Yeah.
That was very surprising.
Yeah, that was in Coastal Carolina and BYU. Well, I think it was Coastal Carolina playing No, it wasn't Coastal Carolina. Who was it? Whoever played BYU took a couple cheap shots at that quarterback, which was uncalled for.
Yeah. Again, Mike, any final thoughts from you, Mr. Fantasy Football Champion? Anything you want to thank your mother, your grandmother for all that stuff? Like you're doing the Oscars. Nothing?
No, yeah, it was fun. Can't wait till we do it again next year. I think we'll be changing a few things.
I'm going to win. I'm saying it right now. It's going to be documented on YouTube forever. John Troncali will win next year's fantasy football.
I don't know if we can, but I think we should. I think we should change to where we don't go into week 17 if that's possible.
Yeah. No, we talked about that. Yeah.
I think we should change that. The waiver order goes reverse. The first week is reverse of the draft. And then everyone after that is if you pick, you go to the bottom of the list.
Well, also too, what we do in other leagues is we all have like $50 for the season.
Yeah, but we don't do money, so that kind of makes it.
Yeah, but just but it's a fake.
And then doesn't somebody have to kind of control that?
Right.
Keep track.
Well, yeah, whoever the commissioner is, he takes all the bids. Now, if John sees that someone's bidding for the same guy he does, John has to find a second guy to let him know what he bid first before the other. Or if someone's bidding on the same guy John wants, then
I think we're a little too not involved to do that.
Well, I mean, but it works. I mean, it works in my other leagues because the two guys who run it are pretty honest. Because one guy will tell me, he'll say, "Hey, look, you outbid me by 30 cents on this guy," but he's truthful and honest. So as long as you deal with somebody who's honest,
I think if we do it, I think I like it, but I think we should. I think just to keep it more simple.
I think keep it to the computer to keep track.
I think just keep it to the computer, and it should just go. If you pick somebody up, you go to the bottom of the list.
Reverse draft order.
Yeah. That way, if you really want to get somebody, you hold off, that'll keep. And the also thing is, like you were talking about, guys having 50+ pit trade waivers. Yeah. That changes that. 56. And it makes guys not pick up and drop and pick up and drop and pick up and drop.
Yeah, Brian. 56.
You get strategic about it.
Right.
56.
Hey, I had to unload a whole bunch of crap I had, so.
Well, yeah, me and Brian did. I did some unloading too, especially at the we did some unloading towards the end.
Well, also too is on my other two leagues, you cannot pick up people once the playoffs start.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, but what if people get injured? And the thing is too, if people sit, like for us going to week 17, like.
Yeah, that would have hurt.
Like Brian, what would Brian have done? Brian would have lost for sure because Dalvin Cook went out the last game, and he would have not been able to pick up his backup.
Yep.
Well, that's why you need to have a good bench.
True. Which is fine for me. Would have been fine for me, but not for Brian. I would have.
Yeah. Well, next year
I would have lit Brian on fire.
Right.
Next year, when we get it set up, we can decide on whether we want to go 10. We can go 10 or how many? I think the max is 14 or 6. What is it? The max.
I like 10. Unless there's some people that really want to be part of it, like if
we'll see who will be in it, and then we'll figure out the rest of the rules and we'll vote on them. But I do want to change the way the waiver thing was set up because that only makes sense. And then I think the other thing was the playoff system. That's got to be changed.
Yeah, if we can push it back a week and go 13, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll get that figured out. So right here, I'm going to put you guys all on the spot right here with the teams that are left. Who are the 2 teams that you picked to be in the Super Bowl? Who's your 2 picks?
Kansas City.
Kansas City?
Kansas City, Green Bay.
Kansas City, Green Bay? Brian?
Wow. Okay.
That's a good question to me. Because I think there's going to be a lot of random dealings is going to happen. I think there's going to be shockers in here, and so I don't know. I think I'm going Green Bay, and we'll go with the Bills.
Nice.
I'm going to shock you guys. I'm going the Bucs and the Titans.
Man.
The Bucs are going to have to go and play in the snow in Green Bay to win.
Yeah, they're going to have to. Yeah, I don't see any issue with Washington. I see them no problem there. But I just got this feeling with Brady. I don't know what it is. The other night, I just like I can see this son of a bitch winning the Super Bowl as a Buccaneer. Does he call Belichick? And say,
"Fuck yeah,
I told you."
Man, that's so hard. I guess if I had to pick, I guess I'm going. I don't know. I guess Chiefs Green Bay is probably a good one.
Chiefs,
I would say. I would love the Bills to be in it, but I don't think the Bills defense is good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Their offense is good enough that if they had a little bit more of a defense, I think they could do it. Because if they get in a shootout, with the Chiefs, they're going to lose.
Right.
Yeah.
And
do you feel bad for those Bills?
I like the Bucs, but I think their offense is not strong enough.
Yeah.
It's not consistent enough. Their defense is good. They got a good enough defense if their offense was consistent.
Yeah. Well,
but I think the Bucs could beat Green Bay though.
Well, yeah, they beat them once in Tampa this year, though.
That's why I got a feeling. That's why I feeling.
But I just think having to play in Lambeau Field in the middle of January where it's 9 degrees and snowing is going to slow down Tampa Bay because the only guy who really is used to playing in the snow there.
All right, so what do we say? What are we thinking? We're thinking Saints are going to beat the Bears.
Yep.
Right.
Seahawks are going to beat the Rams.
Well,
and Bucs are going to beat Washington.
I think the Rams are going to win.
Okay, so Saints, Rams, Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
That means that Green Bay will end up playing the Rams.
We'll end up playing the Rams.
Right.
And then the Saints will play the Bucs.
Tampa's got to go to New Orleans.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So no.
Yes.
Chicago, New Orleans. New Orleans wins. They play the winner of LA Seahawks.
No, because
Green Bay
gets one bye.
Going to get the lowest.
Green Bay gets the bye.
The lowest seed, which would be the Rams.
Yeah, Green Bay's going to get
the lowest seed.
Yeah, the lowest seeded team goes to the for the bye.
That's what I'm saying. Green Bay would play the Rams.
Yeah,
Rams are 6. Bucs are 5.
John, share that screen.
Do you have it up? Oh, I see it.
How does that even work? How does that work?
You're gonna have to zoom in on that a little bit, maybe.
Okay, so what is this? What are you showing me?
This is how the playoff bracket is.
Yes, I understand that, but what does that have to do with?
Yeah,
what does that have to do with Green Bay?
So Green Bay plays the winner of the Bucs there. They move on to here. Then they play the winner of these two right here.
That doesn't even make sense, right, Bob?
If Tampa wins, they're 5. If the Rams win, they're 6. Green Bay would play the Rams. If Seattle wins, then it would be
no,
Seattle
Brian. Yeah, it just put the. Hold on, but watch. Let me see the other one. What is that? Baltimore,
Tennessee.
No, that's wrong. See, yeah, because it's the same thing on the other side. Is because if the Browns win, or the Colts win,
right?
The Chiefs would play them. They just put them at the bottom, dude.
Yeah, they just put them at the bottom.
Okay,
that's all it is.
Yeah, but it's the highest.
The number one gets the lowest seed.
Yeah, the bye.
Right, number one gets lowest seed.
Yeah, the bye week team always plays the lowest seed win team.
Right.
Yeah, so Green Bay would play the Rams and the Saints would play the Bucs if Seahawks. Yeah, if Seahawks and Washington loses. So we'll see. I'm changing it. Bucs Chiefs.
Come
on.
That's my.
Come on.
Yeah.
One more time, Brady. One more time.
I can see. I don't know what it is.
How crazy would that be, though? Brady versus Mahomes, the old versus the new.
Dude, man, that'd be awesome.
How crazy would that be in the Super Bowl?
That'd be crazy.
That'd be something else. I think that would be a really watched Super Bowl.
Mahomes wants that. I think he would want that. He would want that win against Brady. I think more so than any other team. I think.
No, because I don't feel like. Dude, if a 42-year-old beats you, yeah, you should feel a type of way. If you beat a 42-year-old, you can't really beat your chest that hard.
No, it's still I'd beat Brady, man. That's what it comes down to. It's like
no, it's not. Not for guys like that because they know what Brady is. If he came out and said I beat Brady, everybody would laugh him out the building.
Yeah,
you can't do that. All right, fellas.
Great show. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next Monday at 7 p.m. For 4 Nobodies. And thank you, guys. And we'll talk to you guys all later.
All right, guys.